Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever been captivated by that idea of mind reading? You know, that ultimate communication we see in fiction like X-Men or maybe Legion. The thought itself, truly understanding someone without words, it's pretty powerful. So today we're doing a deep dive into things like psychic headbands and crystals, because there's this really fascinating split, isn't there, between popular spiritual claims and some, well, genuinely impressive scientific advances. Our mission here is to help you sort of distinguish between the two, arm you with the actual facts.
Yeah, it's really interesting how deep that human desire for, let's say, enhanced communication goes. It seems universal. And on one side, you definitely have these psychic headbands, various crystals. They're marketed for everything. Telepathy, activating a third eye, or just, better connection generally. These claims, they're often rooted in older beliefs, historical ideas about energy vibrations. But the thing is, they consistently lack any real empirical scientific evidence. It's just not there. They rely almost entirely on anecdotal reports, personal stories, which frankly often contradict each other. Critics, well, they often dismiss them as hokey, unscientific deceptions, and you can see why.
Okay, right. And this is where it gets really interesting, I think, because in stark contrast, you have legitimate brain-sensing headbands out there.
Yeah.
Things like Muse or Focus Calm.
Mm-hmm.
And these are built on solid, established neuroscientific principles. They're not just gadgets. They're actually sophisticated EEG-powered tools. They precisely measure your brainwaves. We're talking the whole spectrum, right? From those slow delta waves for deep sleep, through relaxed alpha, focused beta, even peak performance gamma waves.
Yeah.
And what's more, they use concepts like brainwave entrainment, like Huygens and the synchronizing pendulums.
Ah, yes.
Where external rhythms can gently guide your brain's own patterns. And crucially, neurofeedback, giving you real-time info about your brain activity so you can learn to consciously regulate your own mental state.
Exactly. That's the key difference. Unlike the psychic claims, these scientific devices offer measurable benefits, verifiable ones. We're talking significant stress reduction, improved focus, attention, better memory recall sometimes, higher quality sleep, stronger emotional regulation. And this is crucial, right? How do these things actually help communication in real life? Well, clearer focus means you're actually listening, not just waiting to talk. Better emotional regulation. That lets you respond thoughtfully in a disagreement, maybe not reactively.
Makes sense.
And improved memory helps you recall details, makes conversations more engaging, builds deeper connections. These are tangible upgrades to your actual communication skills. No psychic powers needed at all.
It really is incredible how far the science has brought these devices. But, okay, for listeners who still feel a pull towards the idea of purely psychic stuff, maybe from a personal feeling or just from stories, how do we square that perception with the science you're talking about? I mean, over a century of pretty rigorous scientific checks, even government programs like Project Stargate looking into it, they've consistently found insufficient evidence, not enough to go on.
That's right.
And a lot of the early parapsychology studies, well, they were plagued by serious flaws in how they were done. Sometimes simple things like sensory leakage, where researchers accidentally gave clues.
Unintentional cues.
And sadly, there were even documented cases of outright fraud, which really hurts genuine inquiry. It's a reminder about meeting that scientific rigor.
Yeah, and that raises a really important question. Why does the belief persist, even without solid evidence? Our own brains actually play a big part because of powerful cognitive biases. Take confirmation bias, for instance. We tend to look for and remember info that confirms what we already think.
Right. We see what we expect to see.
Exactly. Or the Forer effect. Why vague statements can feel incredibly personal, like a horoscope that seems spot on, but it's general enough for almost anyone. And neuroscience gives us pretty clear explanations for many experiences people interpret as paranormal. Things like increased temporal lobe activity can cause unusual sensory stuff. Subtle geomagnetic fluctuations might affect brain states, or even common sleep paralysis. Your brain's awake, body's asleep, leading to vivid, sometimes scary, subjective experiences.
Wow.
Our brains interpret these real experiences, but maybe label them incorrectly as something paranormal.
So when you pull it all together, while that idea of mind reading ultimate communication through psychic means, it's captivating, right, in stories, in some claims. But science consistently points us down a different path, an evidence-based one to actually enhance how we connect.
Absolutely. Enhancing your real-life communication isn't really about activating some mystical third eye. It's just not. It's much more about leveraging these neuroscientific advances.
Yeah.
Strengthening your mental clarity, sharpening focus, getting a handle on emotional regulation. These are the real superpowers, if you like.
So what stands out most to you after this deep dive? Do we chase the unproven, the fictional dream? Or do we pursue the demonstrable improvements science offers, the ones that can genuinely change our everyday communication? Something to mull over.